Hello everyone, my name is Chermoshentsev Dmitriy and I'm a student at MIPT and School Tech. Today I'd like to present you the results of Coconut Team final project. We are here today to learn about the primary part of any paper, about abstract. It will take incredibly tiny time, only about 7 minutes. I've divided my presentation into 3 main parts. First of all, I'll give you the brief insight about what is the abstract, what is its purpose, and who is supposed to be the reader of the abstract. Then I'm going to explain you some useful tips on writing abstract. And finally, I'll compare 2 types of abstract. I hope my piece of advice will help you in your scientific future. If you will have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them after the end of my presentation. And now, I come to the first part of my speech. Abstract is an important part of reports and papers. It's often the last item that you write, but the first that people read when they search information and want to have a quick overview of the whole paper. Well, now I'm going to discuss for whom does one write abstract and for what purposes. First of all, I want to tell what is the abstract. According to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, abstract is a brief written statement of the main points of facts in a longer report, speech, etc. You have to know that abstract forms the first impression about your paper. So it helps you to sell your paper to potential readers. So take it serious. It helps the reader to do screening, or in other words, to identify quickly what the paper is about, to judge how it's relevant for them, for their interests, and so to decide whether they should buy and read the whole paper or not. Secondly, abstract enables editors to make a quick decision on whether the paper is relevant to their magazines without having to read the whole paper. At last but not at least, it assists information managers to put your paper in their indexes. I come to the second part of my speech. We'll talk about essential tips of the abstract writing. I'd like to highlight that experienced writers usually write an abstract when they have finished the rest of their paper. Even so, you might want to write a rough draft of the abstract before you start writing the article. It could help you with the structure of your paper. Structure your abstract in the same order as your paper. In abstract writing, you should avoid some things. Avoid jargon or any technical terms that most readers won't understand. You should avoid abbreviations or acronyms that are not commonly understood unless you describe what they mean. Abstracts don't have a bibliography or citations. Abstracts don't contain tables or graphs. If you are working with a scientist or mentor, your abstract should only include procedures done by you. Most of the abstracts should be in the past tense, because you are referring to your own present results. When writing the abstract, examine each other word carefully. If you can tell your story in 100 words, do not use 200. It's sometimes hard to write a short description of your huge work. Here is a tip. For your first draft, don't be overly concerned about the length. Just make sure you include all the key information. Then take your draft and start crossing out words, phrases and sentences that are less important than others. Look look for places where you can combine sentences in ways shorten the total length. Put it aside a while, then come back and reread your draft. With a fresh eye, you'll probably find new places to cut. In the third part, I'll give you a general overview of two types of abstract, descriptive and informative. Descriptive abstract are generally used for humanities and social science papers of psychological essays. This type of abstract is usually very short, about 50 or 100 words. Most descriptive abstracts have certain key parts in common. They are background, purpose, particular interests, focus of paper, overview of content, sometimes included in abstract. The next type is informative abstract. Informative abstract are generally used for science, engineering or psychology reports. You must get the essence. The essence of what your report is about. Usually, is about 200 words. Most informative abstracts also have key parts in common. Each of these parts might consist of one or two sentences. The parts include background, aim or purpose of researches, method that used in your work, results, of course, and the conclusion. So I'll come to the end of my presentation. To sum up, I want to list main aspects. First of all, good abstract uses one well-developed paragraph. It covers it covers all the essential elements or the full length of the full-length paper. The third uses the language of the original paper, often in a more simplified form. And the last, there are two types of abstract, descriptive and informative. In conclusion, I'd like to repeat that that abstract is one of the most important part of the papers, and everybody who writes different articles should write them very well. Thank you for your attention. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them.